What's happening? We're gonna get started considering I forgot to put the intro video on loop. Good morning. It's Monday. It's Monday. We're getting going. We're making this all happen. We got so many different angles right here. We got our stuff everywhere all over our room. We're painting the bathroom. We're getting things set. Oh, it's all over the place. We're doing good. All right. So we got to start with gratitude, guys. So if you're on the couch in our chat, I need to make sure we're getting some good comments right now on X, which is definitely good. So I'm just checking it out. So we're doing pretty good. But let's make sure that we start with some gratitude. I will share how I always start with gratitude. What's going on, Robbie? What's going on, MP? So good to see you. My eyes are catching everything right now. That's how my brain works. So gratitude. We always want to start with some gratitude. There's too much research on gratitude to not make it happen. So family, finances, fitness, and fun. Those are my 4 ways of just making sure that I'm checking in and tuning into where my gratitude is definitely sitting. I didn't think about it before, but I will say this, is that my body, I'm a healthy guy. I'm a healthy guy as of right now. I'm a healthy guy. I am grateful for how my body is able to move right now. I'm grateful for myself to be able to get up early, get into the gym, do what I can do, because I've seen enough people that are not able to move their body in the ways that are going to support them. So I'm always trying to make sure that I can put myself in a position to know that at some point my body's not going to be able to move the way that it is, whether it's going to be walking, whether it's lifting, whether it's just getting up off of the couch. Again, I've seen this so often. You know, one thing, I'm going to sit with gratitude for a second here as we age. If I can't, I mean, like, the one thing I remember seeing, especially with age and our ability and everything we can actually do. I remember when I would spend a lot more time in clinical nutrition in the hospital. I was up at Mount Sinai for a bit. And so over when I was at Mount Sinai, I was working in a cardiac unit, usually people that are coming out of heart surgery and whatnot. But one of the most debilitating things that I saw from people was that when their mouth really wasn't able to work, when they were losing teeth, they had gum disease, and it really took the joy away from food. It took the joy away from treating their body well. It took the joy away from actually something that is such a big part of so much culture and connection and taste and flavor and enjoyment. So that's one thing I just want to make sure is that when we kind of think about certain things about what our body can do, it's one thing that I definitely am not going to take for granted. And so, I don't know. I know it's a small thing, but I want to get you guys there too. But let's make sure that we got the couch over here hitting on some of our gratitude as well. We got MP, thank you. MP down in South Jersey. MP, you always keep me motivated with how incredibly consistent you've been with your gym routines. You know, I think you know, posting a picture post-workout in the mirror, you know, people can look at that and be like, man, that is so cringe in some kind of way. Now, I don't think that at all, and I don't really think other people do either. But but I think some people that they wouldn't do that. But you know what? Sometimes it's like checking the box for yourself at the end. It's like, good, look at this, look at the progress, and it's only going to benefit you that much more for actually taking a look at that in the future. So keep the posting coming. Keep getting the gym. It's incredibly motivating, and just want to let you know that, guys. We got Robbie over here too. Grateful for the sunrise this morning. Out walking now, Robbie. Awesome. We've been hitting up at least once a week, Robbie, with a good conversation around business, health, and love, relationships, all those kind of things, which has been good. So if you guys didn't know, if anyone doesn't know, in the My Daily Dads or Daily Dads chat, we've been, we had a walking challenge during the summer. What's up, Dom? He's coming online. He'll be here soon. Oh, I hear you. I can hear you.
I hear you, buddy.
Oh wait, maybe my volume's down lower. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got it. I was just touching on the walking challenge. We have gotten ourselves together. We definitely know who our winners are. You know, we're all winners. We know that. But MVP, we definitely know was in there. We also have most improved. I actually don't know if I think Blaze may have posted something. I think he may have. So I don't know. I will wait until later to let everyone know about that. We have a new challenge just around the corner. We're going to announce it later today. It's a little bit more, well, it's very much more nutrition focused, which is going to be a good thing going into this month. We're going to be starting to tomorrow and then going until the day of Thanksgiving. So it's going to be 24 days. And we're only looking to support all of us, all of our dads. We're all VeeDads, but we're looking to really support health, mindset, and connection. So that's what we're getting out of it. Thanks, Robbie. Robbie knows. Robbie knows. Robbie was our MVP, and then we also had, if he posted this, I'm assuming he did. We had our most improved and motivating, and I believe that was Jelly Jacko. So there we go. Just saw it right now. So yeah. Blaze, I don't know if he had mentioned also what we are getting together to send out to everybody, but that's just around the corner as well. So I think that walking challenge was excellent. I've loved that everyone's kind of kept up with it, so it's good. All right. Before we jump into things, gratitude. What's going on with gratitude over there, Mr. Dom?
You know, it was a good weekend. I was speaking a lot with a good friend of mine named Ryan Turner this weekend, trying to help me eat better and learn. And funny enough, one of the things I'm most grateful for, it's coming to me right now. I love how this happens, but Ryan was kind of a hard ass to me the last couple of days. I got a lot of just do it. Like, don't be a bitch. Like, eat it. Like, so it was. I appreciate that. I don't need to be coddled. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, grateful for that. Like Robbie said, family photos went really well. We went to like a little remote area in the mountains. It was super cold, but then got to enjoy those. And we can't wait till we get them. It was a lot of fun. We like doing those. We have them posted up all around our house. I know you were kind of like, it seemed like maybe you don't do them as much, or you don't like them, or what was it that I heard the other day? Or just your wife is the one that just schedules them?
Oh yeah, because we were talking about taking over the scheduling of that, and then Blaze, I think Jason also said it too. You know, Lauren usually does. This is like the time of year she usually sets it up. We didn't do it last year for some reason, as in like a professional kind of shoot, because we'll usually go over to like the Brooklyn Bridge, or we'll do something over in some places that maybe we've just lived before. No, we do. They're great. I mean, we have those photos all over the house. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they're right here. In fact, there's some here.
Oh, back there. Nice.
Yeah, but we have a whole wall in the in our 800 square feet in our house. We have in our hallway, we have a bunch of those photos too. So it's definitely something that we do like to do. I think it's necessary. I think it's important.
Yeah. It's what's like funny about it is like our middle child, which is like I don't know. She's all over the place. She's hard to pin down right now. She's in a very, going through, she's getting into that stage of hormones and teenagerness. She turns 12 the day after Thanksgiving. But like she's always been our fashion girl. Like she's always had such like fabulous fashion, but right now she's in a like moody, angsty, like baggy pants, and she'll steal my hoodies. Like she's wearing men's large hoodies right now, but she's nowhere near that size. And so usually we count on her to be like the dressy, like I don't know. The last year she wore this super cute hat and this super cute dress, and it was, and then this year, like Amy could not find a dress for her to save her life. And like, even like the morning of, like, I was upstairs playing with Bentley and I can hear them downstairs arguing. She's like, I'm not gonna wear that. Like, and I'm texting Brooklyn while she's arguing with mom, and I'm like, hey, I asked you this morning to help me out and, like, play along. It's just like a 30-minute session, like, put a pretty dress on. And I think I had said something like, I don't want you to feel left out, or that that you don't like fit in the photo. And it was like a weird thought that I had of like her coming to the photo shoot in her baggy clothes and us in all of our nice clothes. And it was like a weird, like, I got this weird image of like, of it being something that we looked back on 20 years from now. Not that it matters, right? Like, it doesn't, like, we just wouldn't necessarily, we would send her that family photo as a joke, like later when she was having trouble with her own kids. Like, that's the only time I think that would come back. But that moment happened the morning of, and then like fast forward to like the photo shoot, like she's in her pretty dress that we had agreed on like a week or two prior, like when it was, no longer time to order any more dresses. Um, and she just had a blast. Like, she was running around, like she was one of the only ones that wasn't really cold. Um, and she was having mom take pictures of her after the photography session had left. And then last night she said, Dad, for my birthday, I want to go back there to take more pictures. It was so pretty. It's like, girl, you go from like crushing your mom's dreams in the morning to like, I want to do this every weekend. That's
It,
children, man.
I think that is something we're all gonna have to get used to. I don't know. I feel like I was a pretty moody kid, and I'm sure my parents had to put up with stuff like that as well. And I think it would have been cool to. I mean, I guess there's some pictures I'll look back on and kind of realize like what was going on in my head. I didn't really know what was going on in my head during that time, to be completely honest, but it was definitely a challenging time. So I'm only curious what's going to happen with my girls right now, because they're both so wonderfully not the same. And
Yeah.
so it'll be fun to kind of watch those kind of things come out. I know you're highlighting like one of your daughters. Is it something that's going to be happening with? Well, I mean, it's kind of happening with both, but are you seeing it in both at all, or no? Is it just really just one?
Um, it's hard to say. Like, Bailey's definitely gone through some stuff, but I think it's one of those things where, like, when you're in it, you're in it, and then like you kind of forget. Like, even for me, that like we've already kind of been through some stuff. I was
Yeah,
asking I was asking Amy the other day because we were talking about Bentley's sleep, and like he's kind of like right now that's what he's in, is sleep. Like, sleep's difficult.
hmm.
Like, what was it? I don't remember. It was Friday or something, but like I needed to go to bed, but she was laying. Oh, it was after Halloween. It was right after Halloween. The kids are all downstairs, like candy's all on the floor. They're playing around. Amy went up to bed because she was tired and she was just laying down, and I went up too to lay down, and she's like, "Wait, you're kidding me? Like, it's Thursday. Like, you're home. You're supposed to take care of them." And I'm like, "No, I'm smoked. I got to go to bed." and, and so then we had to talk the next day about Bentley's sleep, and I'm like, "Why is it so hard? Like, were the girls like this?" And she's like, "Yeah, they were. And I'm like, "So you haven't slept good for 16 years?" And she's like, "No, I haven't." And I'm like, "Oh, well, you should be used to it."
Dom, are you the deep sleeper in the family?
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
got it. I am not,
Yeah,
and so
I'll sleep through anything. Like, I always joke with my wife because uh on the side of the bed, like my side of the bed is closest to the AC duct. And
yeah.
so I get the air or the heat, whatever, but she's always the one that's hotter or colder. And I'm like, well, can't you just sleep on this side? And she's like, no, because you'll sleep through anything. So if there's a kid crying or an intruder in our house, I want to be closer to the door. And I'm like, honey, it's like 5 feet. Like, come on. But yes, I will sleep through anything.
All right. It is. This goes back to our conversation about sleeping in separate beds, possibly separate rooms at some point in life. How maybe it doesn't need to be so taboo. If we all just slept better, it would be good. Here's a hot take. Recently, I've been hot take. Right?
Go.
This isn't wrong for me to say. It is. I'm just letting it go through my head for a second. I mentioned it in our group text. I've been trying out some like CBD gummies to sleep, and it's really been helping me sleep. Actually, like I'm not someone that's good with that stuff usually because like I usually will end up trying. I'll end up taking too much, not know how much my body needs, and then I have like all these like negative thoughts that like roll through my head. But I feel that I recently figured out that it does help. I don't want to. I mean, as everyone tells me, it's not habit forming, but this sleep has been a lot better for me lately, and so
Nice.
just curious about other solutions. It's been good. So I don't know if anyone else has had that type of experience at all, but it's been good for me recently. I'll probably keep trying it out.
Did you drop gratitude before I came in? Or
I did. My gratitude was, I think, just for the abilities that my body has right now in my life. I feel like it's something that, just being able to get up, just to move, just to do a workout, really support your body in so many ways. I've just seen it and I was talking about the clinical nutrition side, about how people's bodies can deteriorate so quickly. And so, the more that we can kind of take care of some of those things, now as we're, as we can do it now, our future self is going to really, thank us for it. So anyway, that's what I was touching on, because I always think about a process, and I always need to bucket thoughts and ideas. So when I ever think of gratitude, I'm like, okay, how do I bucket this? And so I bucket into 4 thoughts, whether it's like family, fitness, fun, and finances. So there's got to be something within one of those that supports, whatever is good in life right now. So anyway, but David, we got some gratitude over here. Hormones, cannot live without them. Yeah, we need hormones. We need those things. Look at this. Look at the sunrise behind Dom.
I was gonna say, I'm grateful for the time change right now, because you guys might actually finally start to get some Dominic in the daylight.
He's been living in the dark for so long right now.
Yeah.
Couch.
That's the one thing that I was when I knew the time change was coming. My first thought was, the VeeDads might actually see me in the light.
It really changes the day around. It does. Well, one, seeing you, but just getting some sun. I think it's so important, because you usually either go on a walk at this point, or do you usually go to the beach after this?
I'm like that's the thing, is like I could actually like start to do these, like the beach is right there. So I don't know that you guys can actually see that, but I'm in the parking lot at the beach. So I finish this call, I do some reading or journaling, and then I'll go for a walk on the Strand. And then that's where I would go work out if I were doing push-ups and whatever. I used to swim in the ocean for a little bit to cool down and do a little cold therapy. And then I kind of just change in my car and go to work.
I love that routine. I have to say that even if someone's watching this and they don't really know that you're out in Southern California and I'm over here in Brooklyn, I think it always is some sort of perspective in my head to be like, I love the fact that I'm not talking with someone else that's just like down the street from me right now. Just kind of see how the energy is somewhere else, and all those kind of things. So it's definitely something that I'm grateful for. I think, very, very deep, very, it's definitely within there. We got some great people checking in. We got people on X over My Daily Dads. We got 24 of you checking in. Thank you so much for looking at that. Over on my personal one, we got 3 people. We got 6 people on our couch right now. If you guys want to join the couch, hop over to Twitch. That's where we are hanging out. You can definitely be part of the gratitude and see everything else that's going on. But we also, Dom got us hooked on the Daily Dad by Ryan Holiday. This month, it's a good month. Last month, all about resilience. It was necessary. I was ready for something like a little tough love for the kids a little bit. It wasn't that much tough love. But we got this month, and it's all about, really, I would say, more gratitude, right? I want to make sure I'm getting myself right? Give thanks and build bonds. Lessons in gratitude and connection. And so November 4th, we got You've Been Graced. This is a good one. I think it's a necessary one. We're talking about
this is one of those ones where it pushes you to think a little bit differently, perspective wise. In fact, the that podcast that I had just texted you and Blaze right before I jumped on, that I was listening to a Ryan Holiday interview someone on my way in, and it was a really good one. Like the two of them really vibed really well. It was a Daily Stoic podcast, but they went in pretty deep into some parenting things. They went into the perspective of, and this author is actually writing a lot about grace right now. I think she's introducing a new book, so it's kind of poetic, I guess, that I didn't even do the reading, but that it's titled "You've Been Graced." But yeah, it was a good podcast. I definitely recommend it. It's on my phone, so I can't even tell the chat. But Julia Baird,
Baird, Baird. Yeah. I don't know if that's how it is. Building resilience and how grace can change everything. Oh, so it's like last month and this month.
Yeah, she's an author. She's done a biography on, like, it was either Queen Elizabeth or somewhere around there, and then right now she's doing a biography on Florence Nightingale. So I thought Blaze would like that because she's the one who created his profession of nursing. Then they talk a lot about parenting and all that other stuff. Yeah, Ryan Holiday's done a lot on Florence Nightingale too. So yeah, it was a good podcast. So I just finished it. It was really good. Some tears were shed. Like, they go deep into, death and last words and all that stuff. So it was a good one. Talked a lot about grace.
So for anyone that does not have the book or hasn't read What's Going On Today or listened to it, it talks about one person in particular and then his child, but it's talking about Charles de Gaulle, I believe is how it's said. And so Charles de Gaulle, neither here nor there really so much about like what happened to him, because it just talks about his daughter here along with his wife. But he was a prisoner of war in World War I, apparently, and then he fled France, it says, in order to save it in World War II. So difficult, has been through a lot, whatever else is going on. Resilient kind of guy, but his daughter had Down syndrome. And this was in 1928, is when she was born. And really the understanding was that if you had a child with Down syndrome, and I don't know, any other challenges, mental or physical, maybe, that a lot of these kids would be shipped off, and they would be sent to, they say disabled children. So again, I don't know if that's just mental or if it's physical, but they would be sent away to certain institutions, and then parents were made to, as it says here, there was shame and kind of guilt put on them to make the parents believe that they did that to their kid. There was something that the parent did to make them that way. And so, they had to kind of take on all of those feelings and emotions. But during this time where that was the norm, Charles and his wife, Yvonne, they went against the grain and they made their daughter, who had Down syndrome, they made her part of their life, which is definitely something that, again, in 1928 or whenever, maybe it was like 1930, 1935, somewhere around there, it was not the norm to do that. And so it was something that they did, and they wanted to make sure that they understood, the benefits of it all. And Charles de Gaulle here says that his daughter, she kept me in the security of obedience to the sovereign will of God. So he was doing it from a very, I think, religious kind of standpoint. But still, that's a really interesting thing in my mind to think, like, these people were made to feel guilty and shamed, and I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm wrong, I don't know, religion may have been behind that in some cases. But then Charles de Gaulle, which is not really, they don't talk about this so much, but he looked at, I think, religion and God in his way. And I'm not a very religious person, but he was looking at God as a way to find, I think, or justify his reasoning for doing this, which to me just blows my mind that it was not something that was really innate, but that religion either was putting possibly guilt and shame on someone, or someone had to look at religion to justify this. Where me sitting here, I'm just thinking, I don't even need a religion to tell me or make me feel a certain way to want to take care of my kid. Like, it is completely, it's like, it is 110% innate. There's nothing that is going to make me feel like I should or should not do something that is outside of me right now. And I think most parents would agree with that.
Yeah, I think this is a testament to like how far we've come as like a human race, parentally. Like, I think it was before, it was just, like families would just have a bunch of kids. And I think this is also in the time when like, or maybe not. Yeah, this isn't in that time, but there were also those times where, kids wouldn't survive because they didn't have modern medicine and all the things that we have today. So it was, they were a little bit more detached, parent and child, because there was a higher risk of the child not making it. I think that was more the Marcus Aurelius time than this time of Charles de Gaulle. But yeah, it's definitely something that I don't think any parent here right now, listening to this, or anyone really in today's world would really like have too much second thought at all.
Yeah, and even more so, I think that we're finding, and this is very big in my world, at least when I think about how certain brains developed and like kind of like thinking is, and I'll use the word which I think is well overused these days, but the neurodivergent side of kids, and I think accepting that not all kids are going to think and behave the same, and that trying to fit them into these classroom seats, buckets, whatever you want to think about. I think we do have to think about it differently, and that all kids are going to thrive in their own way. I was thinking, as you were saying, have you ever seen that comedian? I don't even know who it is, but you guys can probably look this up. There's a comedian. He was talking about how we and kids are so spoiled these days. And he kind of starts off, he goes, we are incredibly spoiled. Like, kids used to die just from the cold. Like, he's like, kids would just die from the cold. But now, if you think about it, we are so spoiled. Like, we have air conditioning, we have heat and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, just think about how spoiled we are and think about where this came from. And he was talking about like wings. I don't know if anyone had like heard this, but he was like, just think about how this would have been, back in this day when kids would have like been talking about food. And he was like, I want chicken, but I don't want any part of the chicken besides the legs and the wings, right? And so he kind of goes into that. He's like, I want to dip it in cheese, only from France. And so he goes on and on and on. But it's like, it's really funny to think about like how spoiled that would have looked then. But now we just spend like $6 for like wings and eat those. So I thought it was funny.
Someone brings it to our door.
What's that?
Someone brings it to our door. We don't even have to cook it.
I want to find that link again. It was pretty funny how it all happened. But I think that there is going to be some sort of more acceptance and kind of movement into understanding how kind of kids' brains work. And I think the hard thing too, like, I know that my brain as a kid was probably working in one way that maybe most people around me and even my parents didn't really understand, and to hold them to that certain standard, to say like, well, why didn't you know? Why didn't you treat me differently? Why didn't you do this? I think it's almost really unfair, but I think that we're becoming even more aware of kind of how these things happen for certain kids, whether it's Down syndrome, whether it's, a neurodivergent kind of thing, whether it's just depression, anxiety, whatever's going on. But I think we're in a good spot with parents starting to accept it more. So all of our kids are going to be different. We got to love them differently too. So just make them feel loved.
Yeah, give them grace.
Final thoughts. Those are my final thoughts. Anyway, we're at time. Dom, it's so good to see you every morning. You got sunrise behind you. You're going to the beach. This is going to be a good day. This is a good Monday.
Yes,
I'm getting a
sir.
haircut. I need a
You
haircut,
are.
Tom.
You're finally
It's been
getting a haircut.
been trying to get a haircut for
But,
2 weeks now.
you got to put it on your wife, right? Because she hasn't scheduled family pictures yet. Like that was the trigger for me. I mean, I've gotten my haircut twice in the last like 30 days because we had family pictures scheduled for like 3 weeks ago, but my wife got her tooth pulled 2 days before them,
Oh
and so
yeah.
she was all puffy and couldn't smile. So then we had to reschedule. So then I had to schedule another haircut. But yeah, like you do.
I'm glad you got your haircut. I will take the
So
accountability.
everybody shoot a message to Ryan's wife and let her know she needs to schedule family photos so this dude can get his haircut.
I feel like that's gonna make her feel guilty.
No, just kidding.
But hold me accountable to my haircut today. I gotta make it happen. I gotta get out. I just know I'm gonna think that I have too many things going on.
You're
But I
gonna be
gotta
like,
go.
if you don't get your haircut by Thursday, then Friday's VeeDads stream, you will have to cut your own hair live.
See, I wouldn't mind that. If I could just shave my head, I would just shave my head. I would totally just take it all off. So, all right. Anyway,
Have
that's
a good day,
ridiculous.
man.
Don't take care of me. We love you guys. We will see you later. Mugs full of coffee, hearts full of gratitude. We will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Later, buddy.